Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Tone's Market Analysis for Wednesday, August 23rd. It's been a while since I've done these. I usually do about 2 a week, but this past week was very, very hectic. So I believe I skipped one this past Sunday. So I'm going to try and get through the markets quick. There's just always so much to talk about. Thank you again, guys, for continuing to watch me, continuing to follow me. I know a lot of people have moved over to the World Crypto Network, and the 5-minute price overview is enough for them. So I've been losing a few views on my channel, and that's fine. I still might be splitting the show between Bitcoin and traditional markets. We'll move the Bitcoin show over to the World Crypto Network, and I'll leave the traditional markets here. Though it's hard to get motivated about doing videos about traditional markets and trading when I don't really have time to trade, and I honestly don't care what the price of gold is, or the price of oil is, or the price of the S&P 500 is. I kind of care, and I kind of don't. I want to keep doing these videos. This is like the one time I get to keep up with global economics and especially the trading aspect of it. So I will probably keep doing it, mostly for myself, just so I can see where the price of gold is, okay? My website has not been updated in probably over a month. Yeah, about 6 weeks now. The schedule is somewhat updated. I was in St. Petersburg. I spoke at the New York FinTech Week yesterday. The event is going to be 2 more days, but I mean, I just got so much work to do that I couldn't keep going to the city. And here's my upcoming schedule. I will be going to Switzerland. I will be speaking at a few places there, Geneva and Zurich. Then I'll head over to Essen, Germany to speak at the Blockchain Hotel. Then I might head over to London, maybe. If not London, maybe I'll head over to, I think Ukraine is having an event. I'm not sure yet. Then I will be speaking in Italy, in Milan, Italy. That one is not on the list. And I'm going to close off my Europe trip in Prague. I got to see if these conferences are worth it, because it's hard for me to get all this YouTube stuff done when I'm traveling. The connections are never great. And I don't know, maybe it's more important for me to just do YouTube videos and not travel as much, even though traveling is really fun. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, how did I get... Interesting. Oh, I had my bar up there. Don't even know how I did that. Oh well. All right. Let's just jump right onto the markets. Okay. Here is the S&P 500. Oh, I wonder if this would give me more room. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, cool. So that would make it even bigger by a little bit. All right. Cool. So here's the S&P 500. We had another bad day, but again, one bad day here and there don't make a trend in the market, okay? So there are things to be optimistic about. There are things to be pessimistic about. The market right now is looking like a bit of a pullback, but in general, it's almost 50-50, okay? The good news is this cannot possibly be the all-time high, because you had a month to exit the market at the high. That is not how markets stop for any asset. We are going higher, maybe not here, maybe later on, but we are going higher. That's the main positive, okay? Let's talk about the main negative. Well, the RSI is also near a buy signal, oversold. The MACD isn't doing too great. It did cross over and go into negative territory, okay? The 50-day moving average, we have once again fallen below the 50-day moving average, and we did cross back to the upside yesterday, but today we're back below the 50-day moving average. So this means we've already had 1, 2, 3, 4 closes below the 50-day moving average. It also happened around here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 closes below the 50-day moving average, and then one up, okay? And prior to that, you know, we stayed under it for a little bit. We touched the 200-day, and then went back up. Okay, so there's really nothing here to worry about. If your 401k is in the S&P 500, really the worst case scenario right now is if it falls down to the 200-day moving average and then roars back up. And I'm not even sure it's going to fall that low. September is generally a bearish month. Lots of bad things happen in September and early October. And October is usually the month where the stock market finds a bottom. So we'll keep an eye on this as it has a problem crossing the 50-day moving average, and we'll take it from there. Just taking a look at the numerical indicator in case there is any buy signals or sell signals. There really aren't. The last time we had a signal was right here. There was a 9. This was a sell signal, okay? This is a 9 sell. We also hit a 13 right there, also telling you to sell. So there were 2 indications of a sell, and this didn't really tell you to short at any point. There was a short play right here off of this red 2. It did tell you to short, but today it's telling you to take your losses. So nothing is really going on, and you should be in cash right now waiting for the resolution of the 50-day moving average. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right. Yes, I can make it a little bit bigger on the screen. And same thing here. Here's the weekly chart. I had this red arrow drawn a few weeks ago, and that looks like a pretty good support point. It's the previous high, and it would be nice, but we're already starting to rebound, so we'll see. If the next couple of weeks are rough, then let's see if we can get back down to 2,400 in the S&P, and then have us roaring back up to 2,600. So again, not much really to worry about. We had a couple of oversold RSI conditions. Your MACD also crossed. So let's see what happens. Still generally bullish. Again, let me throw the numerical indicator on here. Oh, I can't even do that. Hold on. F11? Nope, that's F7. F11. Oh, I exited it completely. Oh, well. Okay, let me go here. And my script, and that, and that. All right, and I can probably just go back in there and there. Oh, yeah, I have to hit the escape button. Let me see if there's anything missed here on the weekly chart. There was a sell indication here to take your profit, just like we had one there and here. And this one as well. It did go back up. There was a bull play here. Take your, I guess, exit with a small loss this week. And there was an indication to potentially go short last week. And if you did, you're still short. Okay, so let's just move on. All right, gold. Gold continues to puzzle me. I don't know. I have no opinion right now. We are at a triple top, which generally means it should break out. We got to this triple top off a lower low, which suggested that we should never went back up that high. Your momentum indicators have broken resistance. You are above the 50 and the 200-day moving average. And I hate triple tops even more than I hate double tops. If I extend this trend line, you know, it kind of touched it and pulled back. The numerical indicator is already up. It's telling me absolutely nothing because there was a sell indication here that didn't materialize. There was a bull play on the daily right here, exiting break even somewhere here, maybe small loss. Nothing, 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 and then nothing still, because even though we're on a green 4, there is no buy signal yet. Okay, so I don't know. Gold is in cash, no trade, bull or bear. The long-term view, the weekly chart, is clearly above the trend line for the first time in 5 years. Again, you have this triple top. Your momentum on the weekly continues to trend to the downside. So that's not good. Your MACD is still lower than it was before. Again, not good. We didn't come to a point. We went above the triangle. I still think this is a head fake, and we're going to go all the way down to 1,000. I don't have much faith in gold, especially when the economy is doing fine. Whether you believe it or it's manipulation, that's kind of almost irrelevant. The stock market has a lot of confidence right now. That's why it's near all-time highs. The weekly chart is once again above the 50-week and the 200-week. The 50-week is still above the 200-week, and if it turns back up, that's bullish. I want to see it close above this yellow line. I don't like the fact that it's going to close above this yellow line from a lower low. If we never went this low, if we bounced from around this area and went back up, I would be ultra bullish right now on gold. But this extra low is keeping me, a bit scared of calling gold into a bull market. So I'm going to wait. To me, the weekly chart is bullish. To me, the weekly chart is neutral. And if I open the numerical indicator, and if that is the only thing you traded, there was an indication to go long. There was an indication to go long right there. So those of you that have taken up my private consulting service and have this code and are, trading this indicator like a robot, if you chose to and you read the books and you read the materials, you could have went long right here or again right here, and you are sitting on a profitable position, but the same trade would have bit you in the ass right here. You would have just gone long and you would have eaten your losses there. You would have then gone short here, and you would have eaten your losses there on the short play, unless you took some profits and set a break-even stop or something like that, which I probably would have, okay? So right now, according to this indicator, you're long. I wouldn't do it. I don't trade any indicator blindly. I would stay away from gold at the moment. All right, next, oil. I remain bearish oil. I don't see anything in oil that's useful right now. And once it hit the top of my channel and the 50-week moving average, I drew this additional red arrow. We're not exactly going down, but we're not going up either. We're just kind of stuck near the top of this channel. I'll glance at the numerical indicator in case there's any nines or anything like that. There aren't. In fact, if you did use this indicator to go long oil here, or even there because of a trend line and stuff like that, I mean, you could have traded it and kept an eye on it. And right now it's telling you to just take your profits because anything goes. So we'll see. I remain bearish oil. Right, the euro. So the euro on the weekly chart is the one trade that I actually, put my word on. So this trade never actually executed. And by the way, the last time I saw this was a week ago. I haven't looked at the euro since. So I said, I like, in reality, I never enter on round numbers. But for the purposes of this show and this recording, I do enter on round numbers just for simplicity purposes. And my round number wasn't actually touched on this week. Came up just a smidge short. This is a 9 sell, coming off following a reversal candle and the 200-week moving average after a monster run in the euro. Now, I think the euro is a flawed currency, poised to completely fail and break the eurozone apart. I've been saying it for years and years, even before this podcast ever started. So we're having another bullish week. I still think this is a short opportunity for the euro, okay? And this is one of the trades that I kind of have up, okay? So, trade at your own risk, check it out, and, let me know what you think. All right. Now we're going to come up to, oh, this is the daily view. I just wanted to throw the numerical indicator on it. I mean, we're all looking at it together. I haven't looked at it ahead of time. I'm running the back test, so it shows me all the numbers. There was an indication to sell here, take your profit from the long trade. There was an indication to then go buy more right there, break even trade because of this. And now it's choppy and you do nothing with the euro. All right, let's move on. All right, Bitcoin. All right, so let me just take this opportunity to thank you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. My live numbers definitely aren't what there used to be. I'm just under 400 live viewers. That's okay. Maybe people are getting tired. That's fine. I'm gonna continue to make these videos. Thank you for your donations. Very few, just a handful came in. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those that are using Super Chat. I believe Rich is in the chat to help me compile questions again. So thank you, Rich, for that. And if you do want your question to be read, if you want to guarantee your question to be addressed, please use Super Chat and like throw it in there with some tip. And those questions go to the top of the list. The YouTube helps me decide which questions live viewers deem as more important. Here's the long-term view of Bitcoin. This is my trend line from 2012 underlying the price. And we have not seen this trend line in a long time. We've been going up quickly, trying to meet this trend line. Maybe one day we will, but right now we're looking at $10,000 Bitcoin, okay? And this does not look like a bubble to me. It just looks like people are liking Bitcoin. And these drops are basically complete FUD coming out of the big blocker camp. But you know what? They've been keeping us slow and steady and keeping all of us in the Bitcoin space honest. All right, let's zoom in. There's really not. The only thing I can say, the only way I can analyze the all-time highs in Bitcoin and this weekly chart is with the numerical indicator. And I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm going to pull up the back test. Just for some people that are new to my channel, there was a 9 here telling you to take some profit. The 13, less so, telling you to take some profit than a 9. But it definitely would have worked out on this 13. Same thing with this 9, telling you to take some profit. Same with this 9, okay? But you still have to use a bit of common sense. I don't take profits on 9s that aren't reversal candles. I prefer to wait for a reversal candle. Shorting Bitcoin is a very dangerous proposition, and I would never recommend it, okay? Right now, we are looking at a pretty good run. This is similar to the run we had here from 1 to 9, and then 9 was a sell indication. We are on another run from 1 to 9. The 5 candle has slowed us up. That is perfectly fine. The 5 candle is, in order to get a 9, it compares it to a 5. So it's good that the 5 didn't run out of control, and we may actually get a 9 telling us we can time the market with the sell signal, okay? And yeah, so that's about it, right? I also have a 13 count along the bottom, which is another reason to stay long. So the weekly chart of Bitcoin is looking great, and it's telling us to just stay long Bitcoin. I can glance at the monthly chart. Nothing has really changed. This has been an amazing month, and according to this chart, we should have 3 more months of upside, okay? Though that last month of upside is going to be tricky. So this is August, September, October, and then ironically, November would be the 9. And considering there's going to be this big hard fork from the New York agreement come November, it's going to be very, very interesting if this indicator will perfectly time a sell signal. And not only will it be a 9, it will also be something called the 9-13-9. For those of you that want to learn more about this indicator, all you have to do is Google 9-13-9, and that's one way to get some more information. It is a monster sell signal. If you never heard of it before, it tells me you don't really know much about Wall Street, because most Wall Street professional traders know exactly what I'm talking about right now, Okay, it's only the Bitcoin traders that really don't. But I think I've introduced enough people to this, one of the Wall Street's favorite technical indicators. All right, let me go back to my weekly chart so that I keep it this way going forward. All right, let's move on. Here's the long-term view of the daily chart. Again, we're a little bit exhausted here, right? We've gone a little bit too high. Ideally, at some point in the future, I would like to see us come back to test the trend line and the top of this channel. Though I would like to see it hit the top of this channel above the prior highs. So I really don't want to see it hit the top of the channel now, because right now the top of the channel is in the 2600 area. I would love to see it hit the top of the channel when it's above 3,000. So ideally, Bitcoin can easily pull back to 3,000, and it really should pull back to 3,000 because it needs, you know, when Bitcoin goes up too high too fast, it really creates a problem. It really creates the situation where there is empty space on the bottom. And when people panic, the price panics more than it should. So ideally, it really would have been nice to go down from 2,000 back to 1,300, but we never did. And then it would have been nice to go from 4,000 back, or like 3,500 back to 3,000 or 2,500, but we never did. So the fear will always be here that Bitcoin can still fall back to 1,300 before going up to, you know, 10,000. It's still very possible. And the bad actors constantly trying to centralize Bitcoin with big blocks are not going to stop. So Bitcoin price can still panic. But right now, there is nothing technically in the charts that's telling me to be nervous about Bitcoin. There's lots of things that are telling me to be nervous about Bitcoin from a fundamental perspective, from an economic perspective, from, basically the fundamental perspective of Bitcoin's value proposition. There are so many things to scare you about Bitcoin. But from a technical perspective, I'm not scared at all. Here is, again, we're at an all-time high. There's really not much I can do other than draw triangles and use the numerical indicator. It told you to be cautious right here on this 9. Ignoring this sign, you could have gone long on the 2. But then you would have cut your losses right here. The triangle could have kept you in the game on the long side. So were these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, looking for a 13 count. This 9 was timed perfectly for a reversal. And if you followed me on Twitter and you watched these videos, you would have called the perfect trade coming off of this 9 to buy Bitcoin. My sell call on this 9 wasn't very active because I didn't see a reason to really panic sell here. I stayed bullish in this triangle. I was calling for a 1 to 4 day pullback then higher. The pullback happened a little bit later. We are still dealing with this dumbass hard fork of BCash. And yesterday put a little bit of a scare, but then it immediately rebounded. Right now we're flipping color, which means you should be in cash. The moment tomorrow starts trading above today, technicals go bullish and you buy Bitcoin. I mean, look, as scared as I am with all this hard forking drama, scared that Bitcoin's value proposition might be lost, the price of Bitcoin is telling me to buy Bitcoin. I mean, I'm going to trust the math. Just like I trust Bitcoin as the math, I trust my technical analysis. And if tomorrow we are trading higher than today's high, I'll probably tweet out Bitcoin is on a buy signal on the daily and on a buy signal on the weekly and monthly. I mean, what more can you want? The hourly chart is all over the place, totally useless. I'm not paying attention to it. There's really not much here on the hourly chart. BCash, I mean, I don't have any respect for anyone pitching BCash, anyone mining BCash. I I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to some of these people that pushed for BCash. I don't need those types of friends. I don't really care. I don't really care if I have friends in the space. I have my own channel. At this point, like I said, me going to conferences is not as relevant as it once was. I used to go to conferences to build my brand, to build the following. And now I feel like I have a bigger responsibility to people watching me on YouTube than to people coming out and see me in all these countries. And when I travel, the internet connections are shitty. I don't have multiple monitors. It's harder for me to do all of these shows as I travel. So it's okay. I'm okay with that. And I don't care how many more friends I lose in the space. It's almost irrelevant to me. If you were pushing for big blocks, I mean, there's a few people that I'm still really good friends with that kind of prefer big blocks, but they weren't, openly against core. I mean, if you were against core, then I don't have, that much respect. And everyone is like, oh, they're the cool kids. They kick out the other developers. Well, you can be an anonymous developer and go code for core. I mean, no one's stopping you. There's multiple anonymous developers on core, right? If your ideas are dumb, your ideas are dumb. They're not going to get, accepted by the 100 core devs. But anyway, I see nothing here. I mean, if you really stretch, I mean, I'm going to be objective. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, if you stretch this, I guess you can turn this into like a bullish flag, and maybe it can pop again. I don't think so. I mean, this pop, I believe, is totally artificial. It's not real demand. It's fake demand. So how seriously do you take any patterns of something that's been around for less than a month? I don't. This really is the only indicator. I was really expecting this to get to a 9 and maybe then bounce higher. The price is flipping again, telling you to go to cash. I don't see any patterns here. This is the daily chart. I can go hourly. Again, there's absolutely nothing here. There's nothing useful here. There was a 9 buy in the hourly. I mean, kind of timed the low pretty good. Could have skimmed some profit. But, the complete choppiness, totally useless. Look, the color keeps flipping. Nope. I mean, I don't see nothing. So let's just stop and ignore this damn thing. I sold all of mine a while ago, guys. Everyone keeps asking me if I sold my BCash. Yeah, I sold it. Where the hell did I sell it? I sold it here. There it is. That's where I sold it, right there. Okay, I got to it a little bit late. I was trying to sell it here. Couldn't get that price. I sold it here. I took my 10% and I was happy. I never looked back. Never looked back. Like, I don't care about this. It's bullshit. All right, next. What is this? Litecoin. Litecoin daily. Litecoin against Bitcoin. Daily chart. We're flirting with the 200-day moving average. The bad news is that you have a double bottom. So that's not good. That means it's ready to be broken to the downside. The moving averages might cross. I don't see anything great here. If I zoom out, I mean, we never came back and tested the breakout area. Litecoin is, falling out of favor again. Bitcoin is going to scale with SegWit in a couple of days. There's not much here. The moment Litecoin gets back to this line of 0.01, it's kind of screwed, guys. If you are a Litecoin holder, I would be very careful, because if it gets back to that line, maybe not that far, but it could lose 50% of its value from there, taking us back to here, right? So, I mean, let's draw a support line. A little lower than I wanted it to be even, you know. Kind of wanted it to be in this 0.05 range, but that's your, you know, support. Well, I guess, I mean, you can kind of stretch it. I mean, you can kind of stretch it. You can kind of do this. You know, that kind of works. So there, I mean, if it goes back here, it's going to spell trouble. Like, you don't want that. You don't want it to come back here. So we'll see what happens. So that's my daily Litecoin versus Bitcoin. Here's the weekly version. You know, oh, wait, forgot something. But let's throw the indicator on. I'll use the back test. Not much, really. Ignore the blue lines. It's a bug in trading view, not a bug. I mean, it's not really a bug in the code. It's a bug in trading view that they need to fix. I mean, there was a sell indication here, timed it well. There was a buy indication here, timed it well. After that, we had an 8, which usually means that it's not ready to top yet, and there could be another 9. And maybe that's a bad way of reading it because we didn't get the 9, and then it kind of all fell apart. These red numbers shouldn't be here. I'm fixing that bug in my code. I didn't realize it would be so affected. Look, this almost made it to a buy indication, right? It just missed it by a day. Oh, sorry, just missed it by a day, right? So that was unfortunate, bad timing. Maybe on a different exchange. This could have been not. I mean, the count could have been slightly different, and we could have hit a 9, like somewhere in here. But this is almost a 9. I mean, crypto is weird, right? This indicator wasn't built for crypto. So crypto is weird. So this was almost a 9, and would have been a nice, perfect reversal. It's at prior support. And I don't know. I'm not optimistic right now on the daily. Probably spending too much time on Litecoin. Here's the weekly. Same problem. You are now... You're critical. I mean, you have the 50-week moving average that's kind of sort of holding things up. I don't know, like this double hump here. Yeah, I don't believe in double tops. It really should go higher, but it might go lower first. Maybe it'll come meet the moving average, which is a 0.008. I don't really know. Boom, perfect 9 sell signal right there. Never made it to a new 9. I really thought it would. Didn't. Was a short play here. Not much now. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Still have some bullish count on the bottom. The countdown kind of still active. I would be nervous if I had all my crypto in Litecoin right now. Let me put it that way. Monero is interesting. Monero just popped in USD terms, and people started tweeting, oh, Tone got it right a month ago. Not a month ago, maybe a month ago. Is this the weekly chart? Yeah. So I drew this triangle about a month and a half ago. I was looking for a big pop in Monero. The pop happened this week, but Tone wasn't really right because I was looking for a pop against Bitcoin for Monero to go all the way to 0.014, which at today's price of Bitcoin would make Monero like a $200 to $300 coin. Because I was looking for the price of Monero to pretty much double from current prices. So I wasn't right yet. If Monero doubles in price over the next, at some point this year, against Bitcoin, not against the dollar. Like if it pops another $100 tomorrow, then I was right. I was looking for this triangle. I almost gave up on this triangle. Those of you that saw prior videos, I was looking for this 9 count to reverse Monero. It reversed earlier. All it did was go to the top of my triangle. Triangle is still in play. The low here didn't actually go lower than the low here. It came close, and we had a lower low there. So this is just a higher low. And we are now 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth time at this high point against Bitcoin. So I am now slightly more bullish Monero than bearish Monero. I was slightly bearish Monero last time I did this video. We were under the 50-week moving average and stuff like that. So I'm back to slightly bullish Monero. I'm not really sure why it's popping. The volume is still on the low side compared to other big volume spikes. But here's the good news, right? Look, huge volume, much less selling. Some selling, big volume in, less volume out, big volume in, big volume in, big volume in, big volume in, big volume in. So there's been lots and lots and lots of accumulation of Monero. There hasn't been much selling of Monero. So that means that way more people are holding onto Monero for long term, which is good for Monero as far as the price is concerned. Okay, so it also means that there's people to sell Monero if bad news hits Monero. I'm generally bullish. I should have put in my QR code for Monero donations. I never did. I probably won't. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'm too busy. So enjoy the information. I do not have a Monero QR code. The triangle is still in play. If you're lucky, it'll double in value versus Bitcoin. So if it happens in one day, it'll double in value in the dollar when Bitcoin stays still. I think that's it for me. Oh, this is Monero in dollar terms. I did not draw these arrows or lines. They've been here from prior videos. I don't know when the last time I made Monero. Big volume spike, awesome breakout. You see, this is the kind of breakout I want to see. It kind of got stuck at this line and then broke out. If you look at like not yesterday, sorry. This is today. So yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. If you look at 3 days ago, it had a nice 24 to 36 hours of getting stuck at resistance. And then you want to see a big breakout. So that's actually very nice, the way it broke out. Let's throw the numerical indicator on here just to see if it's getting ready to top anytime soon. I'll put the back test just to see some prior numbers. Anything interesting? I mean, there was a buy. Wow, what a great buy signal. I mean, I wasn't looking at it, but those that had this indicator, this was a beautiful buy signal. And this was a beautiful sell signal right here. Like back-to-back trades. Could have shorted this whole thing. Could have flipped it to a long. Could have flipped it to a short. So there was definitely positive ways to play this indicator. You could have played the long side here off of the 2-3. Granted, it never made it to a 9. It never even told you to sell. It just told you to go back to cash. You could have shorted and then taken a small loss or gain. And then right here on this breakout, the moment it went above this line, my traditional technical analysis would have told me to go long. The numerical indicator told me to go long. And before someone says, so Tone, how come you don't trade this stuff? And my answer is because I wasn't freaking looking at it. I was probably on an airplane. The last time I looked at Monero was probably a month ago and or 2 weeks ago. And I'm looking at it right now for the first time in 2 weeks, okay? So that's why I don't trade, because I don't actually look at this stuff. I just look at it for these videos, all right? Okay, so on that note, let's see if it can make it to a 9 and then give us a sell indication. Someone says Monero popped because it was added to BitHub in Korea. I don't know BitHub. Apparently, Korea is now a big player because there's a lot of people with dumb money to waste that dumb money. That's why they're buying BCash. I mean, what can I say? All right, done. Next, I don't know what this is. Monero in terms of, no, I don't care. I'll just throw the numerical indicator on. This is the daily Monero versus, oh, wow, another perfect 9. Oh, my God, look at this. Right off a doji at the bottom. Man, Just absolutely perfect signals. Boom. Right there. And it was a 13 too. So you had a 9, 13, 9 buy signal. Very strong. To be honest, I don't know if this is a self-fulfilling prophecy now, and enough people have used my consulting service and we're actually looking at this indicator for Monero. I wasn't. I maybe would have tweeted this out if I saw it. I mean, I'm just seeing it for the first time. This is versus the dollar. That's why it's in the 60s. And this is versus Bitcoin. This is the daily versus Bitcoin. Yeah, and there it is. Like buy signal right there off of a doji, off a reversal candle. Beautiful. Could have bought it right here. Could have taken your profit off the short trade right on the 9. And then, boom. Picked it up the next day or even the same day. I mean, this is your discretion as a trader. Could have doubled down the moment the 3 started trading above the 2, and you're still long on this trade. Okay. Ripple's not a blockchain. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't really care. All right. This is Bitcoin is 138% more profitable than BCash. So it's more than double profitability to mine actual Bitcoin over BCash. Let me refresh this page. Yeah, I should probably close a lot of this stuff. Free up. You know what? Doesn't matter. Let me refresh. We only have 50 blocks to go, guys. We're going to be going live tonight. Sometime later today, I'm going to be going live with Jimmy Sung. Just 50 blocks to go, probably in about 6 hours from now. We're going to be going live, and we're going to talk about how Bitcoin finally got segued. This is a huge day. All right. Love it. All right. I'm going to save these things. I'm going to close it, and I'll get to your questions. Thank you again for your donations. Thank you for your support. I have 540 live viewers. Tell me this is going to open over there. Yes. And pictures. Let me open. I don't have any sponsors for the show, but I do use affiliate codes. So here are the affiliate codes that are in the description of this video. If you are going to use any of these products, if you're going to use TradingView, you know, please sign up with my affiliate code. If you're going to buy a crypto wallet, like a Ledger or a Trezor or a Keep Key, please use my affiliate code for Crypto HW wallet. If you're in US based, you'll get it faster than buying it directly from the companies. And the companies are clearly endorsing Crypto HW wallet. If you're going to order a Cryptomatic, again, use my discount code. There's a discount code there that will save you money. I believe you'll also save money if you use my link for Crypto HW wallet. There's affiliate code for One Broker where I do my little trades like the Euro trade. And again, please check out Magic Money, which is a documentary that I was in. I think the last time me and Roger were on good terms was filming this documentary. All right. Okay, that's yeah. Let me close that. Let me start closing these things. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that's the euro. Maybe I'll leave the euro. I guess I'll leave crypto. I guess I'll leave them. All right, Rich, thank you for doing questions. What am I? I've been doing this for almost an hour now. I have a little bit of time. Let's see if I can, how quickly I can get through your questions. All right, first question. Tone, you know, let me flip the camera on. Man, gotta get to see my bald head. I need to get a haircut. Place is a mess. Just got back to New York. It's been a while. All right, let's see with your questions. Tone, what do you expect Lightning Network to do to the network and mempool? I honestly don't know. I don't know. Let's make sure SegWit is working and is helping. I don't exactly know how Lightning works. I have not had the time to read the details of Lightning because I've been too busy, you know, fighting the bad actors in the space, trying to fork Bitcoin and steal the Bitcoin brand from the decentralized peer-to-peer value transfer that it is. So I haven't had too much time to talk to the professionals that are coding Lightning. I had not had time to read their papers. I have not had time to listen to their interviews. So one day I expect Lightning Network to scale Bitcoin to thousands of transactions a second, maybe infinite number of transactions a second. I also expect Lightning to give us more privacy and more fungibility for Bitcoin transactions. Now, those are my expectations. I don't know the technical details yet. Right now, I'm just trusting the smarter people than me to get it done. And very soon, we're going to be talking a lot more about Lightning after we fight off the big blockers twice, right? We're fighting them now with BCash, and we'll be fighting them again with the New York agreement. All right, let's move on. Tone, can you resave the BTC USD daily chart on Bitfinex on TradingView? The TD setup countdown is not showing. Sure. So what I kind of started doing is, because my drawings and, oh wait, let me share screen again. Because my drawings and notes go back a long time. I've been doing this for a long time, guys. I've been writing Cointelegraph articles since this triangle here, and maybe even a little bit earlier, okay? I decided to look at Bitfinex from the long-term view and look at Bitstamp from a short-term view, because if I zoom out Bitstamp, there's not going to be these trend lines and all this stuff. So I will go ahead and put the indicator on here, but not the backtest indicator, just the more recent one that's also showing you the history of nines. You see these nines going back historically? You'll be able to see those, okay? So I'll go ahead and do that. They're not really in the way much, but sure. So those that can't really afford my consulting service, you can just pause the video. You can go to this link right here. I'll throw it in the group chat for you guys right there. I'm going to go ahead and save this chart. And it might take, a few hours for the save changes to propagate to your end when you're clicking on it. But it'll be there. And if I forget, you can always remind me in these questions. All right. I'll also go ahead and save this. And I'll go ahead and save this. OK. So I don't, like I said, people, I made a mistake in a prior video saying I don't really want to sell just the indicator and I don't want to give it away. I don't want to infringe on any trademarks. I don't want to be responsible for profiting from an indicator I didn't create. I did some coding to get it into TradingView. I had someone assist me in making it much better. Anyway, there is a price if you just want the indicator without any consulting. And if you are interested in paying a smaller price just for the code, we can work out a deal. I know what the price is. I just don't want to say it publicly. Okay, so there you go. All right, but yeah, it's there now. All right, next question. What will happen if all miners stop mining Bitcoin? Are Bitcoin transactions dependent on miners? Yes, they are. We need miners to clear transactions. This is not a proof of stake, bullshit scam system. Bitcoin depends on mining. And if all the miners leave Bitcoin and go to some alternative, then Bitcoin transactions won't clear. But all the miners won't leave. There's enough people invested. Like I said, I'll be mining. If I am the only miner with my one miner, I believe it's what, 7 terahash, my one miner. If I am the only guy mining, I should be able to find the block eventually. I'm actually mining with free electricity, which is great. So maybe I'll find the block after mining for 1 year or 2 years. So there will be a Bitcoin block eventually. And I know I'm not going to be the only person. There are many other ideological crazies like me that believe in Bitcoin and believe in core developers. So we will be mining on Slush Pool, which seems to be fairly favorable to core developers, which is why I mine there. And we'll find blocks. I mean, even if 80-90% of miners leave Bitcoin, us faithfuls will continue to mine and will eventually find blocks. Now, I believe that if 80 or 90% of hash rate left Bitcoin, there would be a proof of work change to prevent a hostile attack on what's left of Bitcoin. And that's what we'll do. We'll do a proof of work change. We'll render all ASICs useless. And then there'll be like, a new proof of work, like not SHA-256, but Bitcoin will hard fork to another mining algorithm, rendering all of the prior Bitcoin miners useless. And people like me will go out and spend money. Maybe I'll leave YouTube. I'll start trading for real. I'll make a bunch of money in trading, and then I'll buy some miners just to support Bitcoin if I want to come back to Bitcoin and it still survives. And if it doesn't survive, then the world wasn't ready for a government-resistant currency. I mean, look, I had this libertarian anarchist ideology when I came to Bitcoin, and I no longer have that. I really don't care. Like if Bitcoin dies, then that tells me that the world wasn't ready for decentralized mining, and the world wants Wall Street. I will have zero problem going back to Wall Street. I had no idea how honest people are at Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and Bear Stearns until I saw what was happening around me in this crypto space, because every 3 out of 4 people I talk to in my world of crypto is a scammer. When I was on Wall Street, maybe 1 out of 20 was a scammer. Okay? I am surrounded by scams. On Wall Street, that was not the case. Okay? I was surrounded by a hell of a lot smarter people than I am right now. All right? So no, I don't have this ideology, and all my money is in Bitcoin. I still believe in Bitcoin, but if it fails, it fails. I'll once again be broke, and I'll go find a job. I'll go apply to Goldman Sachs. I don't know. I have some, relatives that are still working there. Maybe they'll hook me up. I have lots of experience. So there you go. So that's my view on it. I'm still fighting for Bitcoin. I'm fighting for decentralized money. I couldn't care less about your decentralized smart contracts, which nobody needs. Still need to do a crypto scam Ethereum episode on that. But Bitcoin is just more important right now. So that's my view on things. So if the miners leave, I will vote for the proof of work change. If that can't make Bitcoin survive and core devs say screw it and they go work at Goldman Sachs where they can make some real money, so will I. I don't mind. I really don't mind at all. It'll tell me that these anarchists and these libertarians could not put their egos aside for the greater good of a decentralized currency, unstoppable by any government, programmed by smart people. See, this is what you're missing, guys. Programmed by smart people. Would you get on a rocket ship to Mars designed by a bunch of clowns that don't even know how to program, nor ever taken an astronomy class? I hope not, because that's the value proposition of BCash. Okay, so those are my general thoughts. All right, let's see more questions here. Should I close my Bitcoin long before SegWit happens in case of sell the news event? So I can't tell you when to buy and sell Bitcoin, right? But the SegWit activation cannot be a sell the news event, and I'll tell you why. Okay, I'm going to go to my weekly chart. Where am I here? Bitstamp Weekly. Okay. Back in March, right here, this candle here this is before I was looking at the indicator, by the way. The first time I ever opened this indicator was on a live show right here on this 9. Right there. On this is the first time I ever pulled up this indicator on Bitcoin. I've been looking at it on other shit for years, like 10 years, but The first time I ever used it on Bitcoin was on this night. Right here on this candle was a sell the news event for the ETF. The ETF was a sell the news event, whether it was going to be approved or disapproved. Because look at the 3 weeks prior and maybe even 5 weeks prior. Bitcoin was up from $900 up to $1,300. Bitcoin was up 50% leading into the event, and Bitcoin was up from $1,000 to $1,300. So it was up 30% in the weeks, the 2 weeks prior to the sell event, and it was even higher right here at the tip, right, like 1350. The other sell the news event was right here. I believe this is when we mining. This is the halving. I was talking about the halving being a sell the news event back to presentations back in December. I know Kyle Torpey was there writing articles. I was on a panel with Brock Pierce, and I said the price of Bitcoin will shoot up like crazy leading into the halving, and the halving is going to be the sell event. The halving took place right here on this red one. It already started selling. So sell the news was even sell pre-news, because look how far it went up. Look at the current situation. Bitcoin didn't go up on SegWit activation. Bitcoin went up on SegWit going to be activated. And all it did was it just made up for the fear that SegWit was never going to be activated. Okay? The last 2 weeks have not pushed the price up at all. Okay? And this was the week that, you know, SegWit got locked in. So there is no sell the news. This is just the absorption of the current FUD. If anything, there is going to be a monster buying event when BCash dies, hopefully sooner than later, but these things never actually die. So if Bitcoin hash rate never goes above Bitcoin's profitability again, and the value of BCash falls below this level here, where I'm going to draw a line. And I'm not going to make it. I'm going to make it yellow, and then I'm going to draw one more line, and I'm going to make it red. When BCash falls below one or both of these lines, Bitcoin price will probably shoot up like a goddamn rocket. Okay, and so SegWit is not a sell the news event to me at all. And I'll save this chart in case you guys want to, in case you guys care. People seem to care. Here you go. Posted it in the live feed. So that's going to be a buying event. So I do not see SegWit as a sell the news event at all, because the last 2 weeks we're already like kind of stuck nowhere. You know, people just want to make sure that SegWit transactions aren't problematic, that they're actually helping, you know, people start making SegWit transactions. Wallets are ready. No wallet, you know, loses somebody's Bitcoin by accident because they programmed a segregated witness the wrong way. So there's still, you know, some fear that shit might, you know, there might be some bugs, but I do not see SegWit as a sell the news event. Now, if we had this run up, if we did not have this monster 30% crash leading into SegWit, and if this was straight up and we never pulled back to reset, then sure, I might consider SegWit a sell event if we didn't have BCash either. But the current environment is telling me that we're not on a sell the news event. All right, next question. What influence does the Swiss buying the euro to keep the Swiss at par have on the euro levitation? I thought the Swiss pegged. I thought the Swiss lost their peg a while ago, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I had no idea the Swiss were still supporting the franc by the euro. I thought they lost that battle and the Swiss franc lost the peg. I'm not going to look into it, but I could be wrong there. but I don't believe the Swiss are doing that. If they are doing it, they're doing it privately, and then whatever. Next, what do you do if in November we have a split and miners stay on 95% SegWit2x and core BTC only have 5%? Right now, 95% miners are on SegWit2x. Okay, I think 95% miners on SegWit2x is complete bullshit. I don't believe it. It's complete bullshit. Don't trust the miners. If the miners are telling you something, I'm actually going to assume it's the opposite. Miners have one incentive: to make money. SegWit2x is not going to make the money. If right now you all percentages, okay, guys, please don't talk to me about how many miners want SegWit2x until October. It's such a bullshit statistic. Basically, you're telling me that 95% of miners are on SegWit2x is like telling me that, I don't know, who the hell is going to run against Trump in 3 years from now, right? I don't know. Let's pick a Democratic candidate. It's not going to be Hillary again, right? Like, who are the Democrats going to put out there, right? Like, name your favorite socialist. Bernie Sanders, right? So right now, what you're telling me is 95% of people are going to vote for Bernie Sanders in the next election against Trump. The answer is, who gives a fuck? Because it's 3 years away. I don't care what the miners are telling me right now about SegWit2x. I will care in October. No one even knows who the hell is coding SegWit2x. Right now, there is one focus, just one: SegWit activation in 24 hours. After that, the rules change. Once we have SegWit, the rules change. The rules change because no one is going to hold you to your word. I will bring back respect for every signer of that agreement, of the New York agreement, if they defect. If you know you did something wrong and you stay to it because you signed some document, okay? You know, if you sign some document to kill people of a certain religion, and then right before you start killing them, you decide to change your mind. Maybe I shouldn't kill these people. Oh, wait, I signed a document. Let me go kill them. Okay? This is ridiculous. If you sign something and then you realize you were wrong, just say you were wrong. People will respect you. People will not respect you if you know it's wrong and then you go ahead just because you signed something. Okay? Yes, you should be a man of your word if it's not wrong, if what you're doing isn't wrong, if it's not wrong economically, if it's not wrong for other people. Okay? So don't even talk to me about miner support of SegWit2x until it's time for them to actually put skin in the game. Not signal, actually mine SegWit2x. So suppose I entertain the dumb-ass idea that 95% of miners are on SegWit2x, okay? Suppose I entertain that. Also, that number assumes that every miner of BCash will leave BCash for SegWit2x. What does that tell you about these hard forks? They have no allegiances. It tells me that I should immediately start my own hard fork of Bitcoin and convince miners to now join my coin. If for nothing else, then quick profit in the first month. And then who the hell cares? Okay? This is completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. There will be maybe Bitfury. I hope Bitfury goes off on their own. I hope the whole company collapses. And I used to like Bitfury. Go check last year's video. Bitfury was like my favorite miner, my favorite company. If Bitfury is spilling bullshit that 95% of the miners are going to join them to mine SegWit2x, they're no better than Bitmain. Okay? Starting to hate every one of these miners. I'll apologize to Bitfury if they actually do the right thing. But right now, and again, I haven't really heard everything from Bitfury, but I'm not on their side. Okay? I'm on the side that's right. Yeah, I took Luke Dash Jr.'s side in the user-activated soft fork over Greg Maxwell's side. You know what? Next debate, maybe I'll take Greg Maxwell's side over Luke Dash Jr.'s side. Okay, I don't have allegiances to certain people. I don't have allegiances to certain companies. I'm not bought by anyone, contrary to what the Twitter trolls say. I will support whatever I feel is right at any given time. And if I end up supporting the wrong thing and I realize that I'm supporting the wrong thing, I will apologize to everyone publicly and tell them why I'm no longer supporting that and why I'm switching. All right. So no, don't give me this bullshit about 95% of the miners are supporting SegWit 2x. And if that does happen, which it won't, if that does happen, then the Bitcoin minority hash rate needs to immediately change the proof of work. It needs to render every ASIC useless, and we have to start from, you know, grassroots. And if the price of Bitcoin falls to $100, so be it. So be it. I'll lose all my money because I don't have any means to sell all my shit. It's not even that much, and I still don't have the means to sell it. We'll see. Maybe I'll just start spending more Bitcoin. I still believe in it. Still holding on to it. All right, next question. Do you know why the guy on Off-Chain show was selected? He was pretty out of the loop. Are you planning on checking the host before the show? Okay, so I do not control every show on the World Crypto Network. Off-Chain is the show by Jimmy Sung. Jimmy Sung went to interview Daniel Kravitz. I believe that's his name. Last name. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Daniel writes articles for the Nakamoto Institute. Daniel is a very smart man. I've seen presentations by him. I've read articles by him. Not everyone is capable of doing a live show. Some people are very smart when they have time to think and write and present. And some people are good spontaneously on camera. Me and Jimmy and Richard seem to do very good on camera. You ask me a question, I need 30 seconds to think about it, and that answer will probably be my answer for the rest of the year. Other people are not that good. Other people are not that good at on-the-spot questions on camera. Maybe they get nervous. Maybe they don't process the information that quickly. There are different things, right? Like some people process information instantly quick, and some people have to, you know, think about it and process it. But then their answer is twice as smart as a person that had to, you know, that was able to process the information quickly and quickly answer it, okay? So I haven't seen that video. I just heard about it, that people weren't happy with Daniel. So read his articles. He will come off way smarter and way more knowledgeable than perhaps he did on camera. And again, when you go to interview someone that you know deserves an interview because they have done a lot of work in the space and that work has been very good, but they've never actually been on camera, so you don't have a frame of reference. Like you have no idea how good they're going to be on camera on a live interview. And sometimes you hit and sometimes you miss. And it's possible this was a miss. And I'm glad that it happened because now we know. And maybe we'll try it again. Maybe we would record it next time and not do live and then evaluate whether it should be aired or not. And we'll try new people. Look, you don't know how good a person is on camera until you get them on camera. So don't judge people by their first live interview they've ever had. It's a terrible bar to set. Very difficult. It's not easy to do what we do. You know how many trolls I deal with on an hourly basis? Come on, guys. Don't judge people by their first interviews. All right. I think I'm done with questions, Rich. Unless you want to, you know, I got like, if there's another one good question, throw it in there. Oh, I see a donation in there. Thank you, Daxi, for your 10 pounds. All right, I guess I know the chat is a little bit behind. There's like a 60-second delay, but all right, guys. On this note, I am gonna call it a day. Oh, by the way, private clients, I'm back in New York. If I promised you that I owe you time, if you prepaid for tone-based time, if you are looking for a consulting session, if you want to learn the indicator, if you want to talk about the fork, if you want to talk to me about how to get your BCash out, whatever you want to talk about, economics, my views on altcoins, whatever. I didn't even talk about Ethereum. I have no idea what price Ethereum is at. I couldn't care less, honestly. Right now is the best time to get me. I'm going to be in front of a real computer with a real setup for the next 2 weeks. I'm doing consulting sessions today. I'm doing consulting sessions tomorrow. If I owe you time and we kind of schedule for this time, please PM me. Please email me. I'll get back to you fairly quickly. I'm going to go through my emails today. I'm going to reply to all the people that have been emailing me over the last week. And this is the time I want to do all my consulting, because when I start traveling through Europe, it's going to be a little more difficult. So if you prepaid for some time, please take this opportunity to book me, and we'll settle that time up. Okay. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for sharing my videos. And I'll see you all on the next one. Maybe later today, go to the World Crypto Network, and me and Jimmy might be celebrating SegWit activation. All right. Bye-bye, guys.